You are welcome to another episode of Chronicles of a Nigerian Woman. My name is Fagbeja, and today I'll be reading Akpevwe's story. I am a widow, and though I am not remarried, I want to share some of the experiences I have had since becoming a widow 8 years ago. Mine and my husband's was more of a marriage of convenience than anything else. I won't say we didn't love each other, but we were not really friends as such. He was not a bad person, but he had a very traditional view of what marriage should be, and so we related more out of a sense of duty. You may ask why I married him if I knew he was like that. Well, I think my upbringing conditioned me to see things in a certain way. I do not blame him in any way for the way he was. I take full responsibility for marrying him because he did not pretend. My parents had a traditional relationship like that, and I believed that was the way things should be. For me, as long as a man was responsible and well behaved, that was the important thing. We both attended the same church, and he was one of the youth leaders. He was 7 years older than me. I had always looked up to him as someone who knew God's word, and I respected him very much for that. I was 21 and in my first year of OND when he told me he wanted to marry me. I was very flattered, and when I told my mother, she thought he would make a good husband. He was committed in church, he had a good job with an insurance company, and we came from the same area. We got married after I finished my OND and completed my industrial attachment. He preferred that I started a business rather than get a job, so I learned to make cakes and pastries, and he gave me capital to start a business. We were married for 9 years, and we had 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. My husband's death was sudden. He had a spot that looked like a pimple on his thigh. He burst it. Rather than heal, it started expanding, so we went to the hospital. After running some tests, the doctors said it was a malignant growth and that it had spread towards his groin. He started on radiation and chemotherapy, but it was spreading fast. He died in less than 6 months. It was a huge blow for us all, especially for the children. The church supported us as much as they could, both emotionally and financially. But I did not linger in sorrow too long because I did not want to become a charity case. The first thing that happened a few months after he died was that some of my husband's cousins came and offered to marry me. According to them, they were following the tradition that I would have to be given to one of the men in the family. Since he was the only boy of his parents, I was supposed to choose one of them. I told them to give me time to decide which of them I would choose, and they went back to our hometown. I blocked all their numbers before I moved from the house where we stayed. Finding a new house was another hassle because most of the landlords said they did not take single mothers, despite my explanation that I had lost my husband. Eventually, I had to get my older brother to pose as my husband to be able to get a house in Lagos. I decided that I needed to get a job so that I could have a steady source of income. I attended at least 3 interviews where I was asked for sexual favors in return for a job offer, and each time I refused, my widowhood was dangled over me as a reason why I should accept it. I eventually got a job as a front desk officer and I have grown from that role to become the admin manager in that organization. I have been propositioned by older married men who have offered to help me and my children in exchange for being their mistress. The propositioning is bad, but what is worse is the sense of entitlement with which it is done. The men actually think I should be grateful for their offers. It is quite insulting. For me, it's not that I'm not interested in remarriage, but being married made me realize that I did not even know who I was or what I wanted, and so I am not eager to jump into another relationship. I am taking time to focus on building myself and to settle my children. My firstborn is about to finish her secondary school and get into the university. Seeing them up to a level where they can take care of themselves is my biggest priority now. If marriage comes, fine, and if it does not, I am also fine. Please share your thoughts about Akpevwe's story in the comment section. Remember to hit the subscribe button and to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos.